Queen Margrethe II, who decided to abdicate the Danish throne on New Year's Eve, has had a parallel career as a costume designer and stage designer, and her illustrations for the Lord of the Rings trilogy are considered small masterpieces. Danish Queen Margrethe II, the last queen in the world and the longest-serving ruler after Queen Elizabeth II, is still counting down her abdication. On New Year's Eve, she announced that she was voluntarily leaving royal duties and chose January 14th, the date of her coronation 52 years ago, as the date of her official abdication. Her eldest son, Prince Frederick, became King of Denmark, and his wife, Princess Mary, born in Australia, became Queen. The life of Queen Margrethe II, a unique phenomenon among monarchs called Daisy by her family and close friends, is truly worthy of attention and admiration. Although she was not meant to be queen, as only male heirs could sit on the Danish throne, a constitutional amendment was passed in 1953 that allowed women to ascend the throne in the absence of male heirs and made her heir to the throne. Namely, her parents, Danish King Frederick IX, and Queen Ingrid, had 3 daughters, so that if the king died, his brother would inherit the throne. Margrethe II. She was born on April 16, 1940, as Margrethe Alexandrine Thorhildur Ingrid at the Royal Palace of Amalienborg, which today is the official residence of the royal family in Copenhagen. She was named after her grandmother and mother, and since her paternal grandfather was also the King of Iceland, she also received the unusual name Thorhildur. Her mother was the only daughter of the then Swedish heir to the throne, later King Gustav VI. Adolf, father of the current Swedish King Carl XVI Gustaf. He has 2 younger sisters, Princess Benedicta and Anne-Marie, wife of former Greek King Constantine II. Held the title of queen from her wedding on September 18, 1964 until the abolition of the Greek monarchy on June 1, 1973. The queen is known for her extensive education and is one of the few monarchs to hold multiple university degrees. She studied philosophy in Copenhagen, earned a degree in prehistoric archaeology at Cambridge, and because of her future royal role, she enrolled in political science, which she studied at 3 universities: Aarhus in Denmark, the Sorbonne in Paris, and the School of Economics in London. And it was in London during her studies in 1965 that she met her future husband, French diplomat Henri de Laborde de Montpezat, at a dinner at the French embassy. A year later, the couple became engaged and married on June 10, 1967, in Copenhagen. In addition to Danish, the Queen speaks fluent English, Swedish, French, and German, and is also fluent in Faroese, a language spoken by only about 50,000 people living on the islands of the same name. Her rich linguistic knowledge has enabled her to communicate openly with important people from different countries, and her language skills have also encouraged her to translate books. Although she has no formal artistic training, her creative spirit has manifested itself in many artistic impulses she illustrated. For example, the Danish edition of Tolkien's Lord of the Rings saga under the pseudonym Ingdehild Gratmer, and received numerous accolades for this, as well as contributing to the translation of the book itself. Her work has been exhibited in Denmark and throughout Europe, and her costumes and sets have attracted the most attention. From childhood, she was strongly interested in the world of theater, and especially ballet, which she fell in love with as a girl when her parents took her to Auguste de Bournonville's Naples, which made a deep impression on her. She began working professionally in costume design and scenography in the 80s, first in her friend's amateur theater and later in state theaters and television. From various drama and ballet productions, until last year when she came to Netflix with the movie Erengard: The Art of Seduction, for which she did the costumes and scenography. In 2018, she was left without her husband, with whom she had been married for 51 years. And in addition to her son Frederick, she has a younger son, Joachim, from whose children she took away the princely titles 2 years ago. Joachim had resented her for this, but she justified the decision by saying that she wanted his 4 children, now earls, to live a simpler life without the publicity and obligations of princely titles. She was a queen with a firm hand, so even her husband Henrik resented her giving him the title of prince rather than king. Apparently his last wish was not to be buried next to her.